Hi, I'm John with Enchanted Earth Gifts. You can find my website at enchantederarthgifts.com, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually the first video that I've ever done for making soap. I hope you enjoy it. Hello everybody, this is my first ever YouTube post for soap making. You can hear cartoons in the background and my son in his jumper occasionally. But here I am about to make some pumpkin embeds for some pumpkin soap. So here we go. I have some melt and pour for the embeds. Now my soap will be actually cold processed, but I'm doing melt and pour embeds. So I have some melted melt and pour right here, and I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of some Flotation device orange from Micas. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to put in about a teaspoon, about an evened off teaspoon. That should get it nice and bright. Since it is Flotation device orange, it's pretty bright. And I'll wait and see if I need more in just a second, but let's try that. Try to stir it in a little bit, and then use my little frother here, deep down in the melt and pour. You don't actually want it to froth. So I don't usually do it at the top because that adds air to the soap, and we don't want to do that. But we do want to pull the mica down deep into the melt and pour. We just don't want to add air to it. So I'm trying to get all that mica down in there. Now some micas mix well in oil first, some in water first, some in the soap base itself first. I usually don't have any problems with putting it in melt and pour, the melt and pour that I get from my distributor, but it does take a little bit of work sometimes to get it off of the top, keep it from floating on the top. So I do two things really. One, I have my frother and I try to pull it down as much as possible. And the other thing I do is I have simply a popsicle stick or a chopstick or something, and I try to go around the edge and get it off all the sides, because sometimes it sticks to the sides. There we go. My name is John, by the way, and I run a company called Enchanted Earth Gifts with my wife, and we've been doing this a little bit under a year. I've been researching and doing all kinds of other stuff for several years, and then decided to take the leap and make a company out of it. Now that is definitely Flotation device orange. I think that'll be a good pumpkin color for us. I could add in some orange vibrance from Nurture Soap Supplies, but I'm going to use that in the soap. So I wanted the pumpkins to be a little bit different and a little bit brighter. There we go. So I think that should do it for the orange. Now I also have some melt and pour here. Uh-oh. I need to heat this up in the microwave for just a second. Alright, I had to melt my melt and pour just a little bit more for the stems. Now the stems is going to be an experiment because I've never tried anything like that before. Putting some melt and pour in and then more melt and pour inside that in one specific location. But I'm going to give it a shot. I've got some citrus green lab color here that I'm going to use for my leaves. It shouldn't take a whole lot. Let's see how that turns out. I frothed it a little bit because there's not a whole lot in there, but I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little more. I might have to add some oxide to it, but maybe that'll be good enough. I'm going to let that froth die down a little bit while I pour in these pumpkins. Now, pouring in the pumpkins certainly takes a steady hand. Some people actually use a pipette to do it, but I think I can do it without too much mess. Get a paper towel ready because I know I'm going to make a little bit of mess. Watch, I said I'm not going to make a mess and then I'm going to make a huge mess. But we'll try. Let's see. Yep, see, I'm already making a mess. Usually the first embed you pour kind of makes a mess because you're not used to the flow of the pour yet, I guess, is what you would call it. I usually fill these up right to the line, and you notice I'm putting them right under the line because I'm actually going to try to force a little bit of green into the stem, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. It may not work at all. It may end up being an ugly mess with, you know, a pumpkin with a green spot on the top of it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I may end up having to mold some myself and then attach it to that little stem part, or just paint the top, paint the stem with mica and a little bit of alcohol, and that may be the solution. In fact, that may be the best course of action now that I think about it a little more. Here I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough for the pumpkins, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much than too little. I'm going to pour a little bit more into a couple of these. Hear my son jumping in the background there. He's in his jumper. He's 7 months old. I have a big mess. I have a 7-month-old and I have a 3.5-year-old boy. Alright. I think that's good enough of a mess. Let me take this and kind of get a little bit of that off of there. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Now let me spray some alcohol on here real quick. And you spray the alcohol on, of course, to get rid of bubbles. There we go. We don't want all the little bubbles that come with it. And this froth that's in the green, I'm going to spray it with some alcohol too to make the froth go down more. Can you smell the alcohol? Here. Alright, now this is set up just a little bit, and I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work yet. I've just tried one here so far, but what I'm doing is I'm just simply pushing down right there and then squeezing out the green as I go up. And see, that did not work because it got stuck. And I don't think that's going to work too well. But I wanted to try about 3 of them just to see how well it would work. See, now it has this odd looking bubble in the back. This may not work like I wanted it to. And already my pipette is getting stuck up with the melt and pour drying in it, or hardening in it, I should say. So I think I'm going to paint these on with mica. But now you've seen the experiment and know that that doesn't work that well. Who knows? We'll see what those two look like when I unmold them. Always put on your safety gear. So now we're back. And I'm about ready to combine everything here. Now I know that this fragrance oil accelerates really, really quickly once you combine. So all I'm going to do is first put my lye water into my oils, and then I'm actually going to separate them and put in my colors and mix them, and then fold in my fragrance oil with a spatula, because I don't want it seizing up on me. I've actually done this batch before and it turned out horrible with it seizing up on me. So let's see, our lye water is at 86 and oil's at 94. That's pretty good. with the fragrance oil. I was not happy with the orange cinnamon clover by itself, so I added a little bit more, a little bit of vanilla and some pumpkin, and it smells delicious. Oh my goodness, it's divine. It smells so good. It really does. Cannot wait to cut this one. Homemade hanger. This is my hanger for my hanger swirl. Just did electrical wire. Here we go. Gonna try it. There we go. And then get off of there. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, I'm back. I made the soap. Check it out. I think it looks good. And about to put on some frosting I got my frosting all made here. I just poured the lye water in with the oils, and I am a little bit nervous because I have never used this frosting recipe before. I have to give props to Katie from Royalty Soaps for the frosting recipe because I bought her piping set, and I'm about to use it for the first time. So I am a little bit scared about that. I hope it works well because I think my soap looks really nice, and I hope the frosting does it justice here. But I know if there's anything that goes wrong, it's not going to be Katie's fault. Certainly it's going to be mine, because this is my third time ever piping anything ever, and that has me a little bit nervous. Now, I've seen other YouTubers pipe at a very liquid consistency. Katie's one of those, and Ariane, of course, I love her too. She's awesome. I'm interested to know what YouTubers you like, but I like watching quite a few people. Check this out, my little experiment I did with the melt and pour. That looks pretty good, I think. I mean, it's not bad. Pretty darn good for an experiment. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let's get to piping some stuff. Oh, it is plopping out. See, that's why you do it in a cup, that's for sure. Oh, I may have to let it sit a little bit longer, but I don't know. Let's see. No, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I'm gonna try. Here we go. Plop, plop, plop. How about that? Not too bad. Now, I am not good at piping, obviously, because I haven't learned the trick of twisting the top and making that work and all that. I should move this cup so the camera can see. Oh, my wife is holding up the camera. There we go. Can you put it back down? Does it work? I gotta work on consistency of plops too. That's something I definitely have to work on. Like I said, this is the first time I've used this tip, first time I've used this recipe. Interesting. That's what you could say about this. It's interesting, John. That's interesting. Enchanted Earth Gifts is wonky looking gifts. Hey, I'll get better, I promise. Alright, I'm going to put some more in this. There's not too much down in the bottom of the cup. Let's see if I can get it out first. There we go. That's more like it. And I didn't even think about it. These little dollops, I could call them little ghosts. Couldn't I? I could put little, like little black eyes on them or something, and they'd be little ghosts. Okay, there we go. Now, here comes the tricky part. Getting my pumpkins in the right place so that I can cut this with my soap cutter. This is going to be the really tricky part, because my soap cutter is aligned at not 1-inch intervals, which would make this so easy, but it's actually aligned at 1 1/8. So I'm kind of hosed in that regard. So this is what we'll do. I'll just put it in there and hope for the best. And if I have to, I'll use my single cutter. Yeah. And then this way, I think that'll be easier. And then look at that. And I'll be back for the cut. Okay, it is now time to cut the soap. As you can see, I got all my pumpkins in there. I've tried to line this up. I don't know if this is going to work or not, so hang with me here. Let's see. I'm going to go really slowly here. Ooh, barely in between those two. Barely in between. There we go. The end. Let's see how it turned out. Hey, look at that. That's not so bad, huh? That's pretty good. Man, this smells delicious. Oh my gosh. I just want to eat it. Yum. Look how cute that is. You got Halloween swirls, spooky swirls, and a pumpkin on the top. Wow. That one looks like it has a little face right there. That's cool. Oh, I love them. I love them. These look awesome. Look at that. Man, God, I just want to eat it. I really do. I mean, I'm one of those people that loves pumpkin bread, and I make several loaves of pumpkin bread every year. And I mean, I could eat a loaf of pumpkin bread just in one sitting. I mean, it's ridiculous, but my gosh, these look good. And they smell delicious. That one kind of has like a spooky face, like eyes and a mouth. Look at that. And I'll tell you, as a pumpkin bread lover, this smells divine. Oh my goodness. These are going to go quick. Excellent, excellent. All right, well, there you have it. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching the video. If you really liked this, then like it and subscribe. And please do that. Thanks for watching.